I can't believe I'm saying this, but the Marlow situation is finally over because a YouTuber just exposed her in the most unexpected way ever. But before I break down everything, we are so close to 15,000 subscribers, so consider subscribing and dropping a like if you learned something new. So not gonna lie, when I first saw this video by Refwan, a tear literally ran down my leg. Because honestly, the Marlow cheating allegations have been going on for like over a month now, and I genuinely thought we would never get a definitive answer. But then Refwan comes out of nowhere and drops literally the most comprehensive technical breakdown I have ever seen in my entire life. And I'm not even exaggerating when I say this, bro. This video is absolutely insane. But let me give you guys some context real quick, because if you've been living under a rock and don't know who Marlow is, she's basically considered like the #1 Minecraft PvP player in the entire world, and she also paid my bills. Like, the entire Minecraft PvP community knows about her, and she's been dominating the tier list for months now. But the thing is, there have been accusations for a really long time that she's been using cheats. And not gonna lie, when I first saw these accusations, I was kind of skeptical because I was like, there's no way the #1 player is actually cheating, right? Like, that would be crazy. But then Dr. Donut caught something in one of her videos that started this entire thing. So basically, Marlow placed a respawn anchor without visually selecting it in a hotbar. And dude, this should be impossible in vanilla Minecraft. Like, completely impossible. You can't just place blocks without having them selected in your hotbar. That's not how Minecraft works. And when Dr. Donut pointed this out, Marlow's explanation was that she was using a performance mod called Exordium, and the hotbar skip was just a visual artifact from this mod rendering the UI at a lower frame rate. And honestly, when I first heard this explanation, I was like, okay, that kinda makes sense. Like, performance mods can do weird things sometimes, you know what I'm saying? But here's where Refwan comes in and absolutely destroys this entire explanation. And I mean completely destroy it. Because Refwan did something that literally nobody else did, which is he actually tested Exordium himself and found out 3 things that prove Marlow wasn't even using Exordium during that clip. So first, the crosshair behavior. And this is like the simplest test that anyone can do themselves in like 5 minutes. When you have Exordium enabled, your crosshair becomes fully white and static. Like, it doesn't change color based on what's behind it, it just stays solid white because that's how Exordium reduces animations for better performance. But in Marlow's footage, her crosshair is changing color dynamically like it normally does in vanilla Minecraft. And dude, this alone proves she wasn't using Exordium during that clip. Like, this is verifiable by literally anyone who has Minecraft installed on your computer. But wait, it gets even crazier, because the second thing Refwan noticed is the enchantment glint. So you know how when you have an enchanted item there's like that sparkly effect on it? Well, in Marlow's footage, the enchantment glint is updating every single frame, and it's super smooth. But if she was actually using Exordium at the settings that would be required to cause a hotbar skip, the enchantment glint would be choppy and laggy. But it's not, it's completely smooth, which means she's running at high FPS settings where a hotbar skip would be literally impossible with Exordium. And then the third thing, which is the pole cooldown indicator. In Marlow's footage, when she uses an ender pole, the cooldown indicator is super smooth and not laggy at all. But again, if she was using Exordium at the settings needed to cause a hotbar skip, this cooldown would be choppy, and it's not. So you have 3 independent pieces of evidence that all prove she wasn't using Exordium. And honestly, even Marlow herself and the head developer of Exordium abandoned this explanation because they realized it didn't work. But here's where it gets really interesting, and I mean really interesting, because Refwan then explains what actually happened, and dude, it's called silent swapping. So silent swapping is a cheat feature that performs item swaps and interactions within 1 tick, which is like 50 milliseconds, and what this means is you can place items or interact with items that you never actually visually held in your hotbar. Like, the cheat instantly swaps to the item, places it or uses it, and then swaps back. All within 1 tick, so fast that nobody watching can see this swap. And not gonna lie, when Refwan explained this, I was like, bro, that's exactly what happened in Marlow's clip. Like, exactly. And the crazy part is that Refwan tried to recreate this behavior using legitimate methods with Exordium, and he couldn't do it. Marlow herself couldn't recreate it. The Exordium developer couldn't recreate it. But then Refwan tried it with cheats and he was able to recreate it immediately. But wait, there's more, because Refwan didn't just stop at the hotbar skip. He also did a statistical analysis that is absolutely mind-blowing. So he counted frames for anchors with the hotbar skip and anchors without the hotbar skip. And what he found is that the anchors with the skip were 3.3 times more consistent and 24% faster than the anchors without the skip. And dude, think about that for a second. If the hotbar skip was actually just a natural glitch or bug like Marlow claimed, it would be slower and more inconsistent, right? Like bugs and glitches add time, they don't save time. But instead, the anchors with the skip are faster and way more consistent, which only makes sense if it's an intentional cheat. And not gonna lie, the logic here is so simple but so powerful. Like Refund is basically saying if this is a natural occurrence, why is it 3.3 times more consistent and 24% faster? And the only answer that makes sense is that it's not natural, it's a cheat. And honestly, when you combine this with the fact that she's been doing frame perfect attribute swaps 76 out of 76 times at exactly 3 frames, and she's using a membrane keyboard which makes frame perfect consistency basically impossible, it's like, dude, how much more evidence do you need? But here's where the video gets absolutely insane, and I mean genuinely insane. Because Refund also analyzed Marlow's sensitivity settings, and bro, this is where things get completely ridiculous. So Marlow plays on 2000 DPI with 100% in-game sensitivity, which converts to about 3 cm per 360 degree rotation. And when Refund made a graph of the top 100 Minecraft PvP players and their sensitivity settings, Marlow's sensitivity was literally off the chart. Like she has the highest sensitivity of any top player, and the second highest player has a sensitivity that's more than 3 times lower than hers. And the reason this matters so much is because at that sensitivity level, consistently accurate tracking becomes physically impossible. Like Refund explains that 3 cm per 360 degrees, millimeter movements equal huge rotations in game, and hand tremors get amplified by like 100 times. So to maintain smooth tracking at that sensitivity, you would need sub-millimeter precision, which is humanly impossible. Yet Marlow has perfect smooth tracking in all of her montages with no micro corrections and no overshooting. And dude, here's the craziest part. Refund got multiple esports aimers and aim labs champions to watch Marlow's gameplay, and literally every single one of them say that looks like aim assist. And these aren't just random people, these are like world champions and top ranked competitive aimers with thousands of hours in aim training. And they all unanimously agree that her gameplay looks like aim assist. And honestly, when you have that many experts all saying the same thing, it's pretty hard to ignore. But wait, it gets even better, because Refund also got Matty, who is literally the #1 ranked aimer in the entire world, to try to recreate Marlow's tracking. And Matty used a sensitivity that's 50% lower than Marlow's, which should make it easier, right? But even Matty, with like 10,000 hours on aim labs and being the world champion, couldn't recreate that smooth tracking that Marlow has in her videos. Like Matty's gameplay shows constant overshooting and micro corrections, which is what any high sensitivity player looks like. But Marlow's tracking is just perfectly smooth with 0 corrections. And not gonna lie, when I saw this comparison, I was like, if the best aimer in the world on an easier sensitivity can't do it, how is Marlow doing it? Like, that doesn't make any sense at all. And then you look at Marlow's handcam video, and suddenly her tracking is super choppy with tons of micro corrections and overshooting, which is exactly what you'd expect from a human playing at high sensitivity. But in her regular montages, there's no choppy aim at all, it's just perfectly smooth. So then Marlow releases this handcam video to try to prove she's legitimate, right? And dude, this handcam video has so many problems that even the organization responsible for the screen share made a statement criticizing it. Like, the leader of the screen share organization literally made a public statement saying the screen share was inadequate. And when your own screen share organization is calling out your screen share, you know something is wrong. And the problems with the handcam are just ridiculous. Like, first of all, she only shows half of her mouse, so you can't see if she's pressing side buttons for macros. Her keyboard isn't shown at all, so all of her hotkey sequences are invisible. The opponents she fought were either longtime friends, outdated players who got tier 1 like 2 years ago, or players who were lagging throughout the video. And it wasn't even a proper tier test, it was just friendly matches with no stakes. And honestly, the fact that she fought a friend who she's known for like 3 or 4 years, and who was coaching her and then tried to pass it off as legitimate proof is kind of crazy. And then there's the double clicking thing. So Marlow claims she has a double clicking mouse that she uses for shield stunts, right? But in the handcam video, you can literally see her doing single clicks, not double clicks. And this lines up with what Swipe said, which is that 90% of her disables in her regular UHC footage are not double clicks, even though she claims she's using a double clicking mouse. And not gonna lie, when you add up all of this evidence together, it's just overwhelming. Like you have the hotbar skip that's only explainable by cheats. You have the sensitivity that makes smooth tracking physically impossible. You have the best aimer in the world unable to recreate a gameplay on an easier sensitivity. You have all the esports aimers saying it looks like aim assist. You have all the cheat developers saying it's definitely cheats. You have the statistical impossibilities with the frame counting. You have the performance degradation where she's being monitored. You have the inadequate handcam video. And you have her own screenshare organization criticizing the screenshare. And Refon ends his video by basically saying, I don't see how all of this can be true and her still be legit. And honestly, I completely agree with him. Like the probability of all of these things being coincidences is astronomically low. And the fact that Marlow has had over a year to explain what happened with the hotbar skip and she still can't explain it, and the only thing that explains it as cheats is pretty telling. But here's the thing that's interesting about all of this. The Marlow situation is technically over in the sense that Refon's video is basically the final word on the subject. Like this is the most comprehensive technical analysis anyone has done, and it covers literally every aspect of the accusations. But at the same time, it's not really over because Marlow hasn't responded to this video yet, and the community is still divided on whether she's cheating or not. And honestly, I'm really curious to see if she's gonna respond to Refon's video because he addressed literally every single one of her defenses and debunked all of them with actual evidence. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Do you think Refon's evidence is conclusive? Do you think Marlow will respond to this video? And honestly, where do you think the situation goes from here? Because not gonna lie, this feels like it should be the end of the debate, but knowing the internet, it's probably not gonna be. And if you guys found this breakdown helpful, make sure to drop a like on the video and subscribe because we are so close to 15,000 subscribers and I would really appreciate the support. But yeah, that's basically everything you need to know about the Marlow situation and Refon's absolutely insane exposed video. Make sure you check out Refon's video yourself if you want to see all the evidence in detail because dude, it is good. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye!